Welcome to Haltech Elite NSP Training Part 1. In this training tutorial, we're going to learn how we can install our software onto our laptops to begin our training course. Without further wait, let's jump in so we can check this out.
Okay, so let's get started. We're going to be taking a look at how to download and install our Haltech NSP software onto our laptops. The NSP software is going to allow us to communicate with our Haltech Elite box, being able to do data logging or any kind of programming. So we need to make sure this is installed onto our laptops before you do anything with the training course. So the first thing we're going to do is make sure you go onto Haltech's website, haltech.com. We can see that's punched into my browser here up the top. The next thing we're going to do is move into the download section. We can find that right here. The screen that I'm showing here right now, the main page of the website, changes. So depending on when you're watching this, it might be a year or two from now, the layout in terms of where to find this download button may change. But you're looking for the download section. Right now, this is the most current configuration of their main page. So I'm gonna go right into the download section right here. Now, when we're into the download section, we're gonna move down here into our software downloads. We can see that we have NSP software, we have an ESP software, we have ECU Manager, and we have the i7 software. All of these software suites are specific to the products that they're showing here in the icon. So the Dash software is for the Dash, ECU Manager is for the older Platinum series of ECUs, which is not going to pertain to the Elite that we're covering here in the training course. We have our ESP software, and we have a whole training course using the ESP software. This is the older software that's available for the Elites, works just fine, but the NSP software offers some benefits, so we'll find that's what we're going to be focusing here for this training course. We're going to be working with the NSP. Now, the NSP software can be used with both the Nexus and the Elite, so it can do either or. We're going to have a separate training course with the Nexus using the NSP software, but we're going to be focusing on this training course covering everything for the NSP software related to the Elite. So what we need to do here is download right here the NSP software onto our laptops. That's a pretty straightforward process. You need to make sure you're online. If you're on this page, you're obviously going to be online. You're going to make sure you have a wireless connection, or you're going to be around some form of an internet to be able to do the download process. I'm also going to download the ESP software onto my laptop. Now, the reason why I'm doing that is that my specific Elite box that I'm working with was actually from our ESP Elite training course. I haven't worked with this box for probably a year now. And in order to work with the NSP software, I need to do a specific firmware update on my Elite box to allow it to communicate with the NSP software. I can only do that firmware update in the ESP software. So I have to actually have both onto my laptop. So you may not be in that situation. If you've purchased your Elite box brand new from Haltech, you may find that it's already set up for the NSP software and you don't have to do a firmware update at all. I'll be covering the firmware updating process in another training tutorial coming up here very shortly in the training course. So if you're in a situation where, again, you have the Elite, you've been on the ESP software, you want to switch over to the NSP, well, make sure you download the newest version of the ESP software and then also the newest version here of the NSP software. You're going to need both in order to update your Elite box. So what I'm going to do is go into my download section right here. I'm going to click download, and that's going to start the download process for the NSP. We can see that it's showing the status up here at the top. And then I'm going to go into my ESP and I'm going to go to the download. There's also a download without the help file. I always recommend to download with the help file just so it's there in the software if you ever need to reference it for any reason. So I'll click the download option right here and give that a second, and it's going to start that downloading stream. We should find that window pops up here in our upper right hand corner, assuming you're running Windows 10. Different versions of Windows may look a little bit different, but most everyone should be running 10 by now, maybe 11. You might even be on Windows 11 that's been newly released. So we're finding here that it is downloading both software at the same time. Once it's completed the download of both software, it's going to prompt me up on the screen, and we'll come back into the tutorial. At that point, we can see that the ESP here is started. Once it's downloaded both versions, then we'll go from there and we'll use the exe files, the executable files, in order to finish the installation process for both software packages. Just want to mention, if you have a newer Elite box you've purchased probably in the last 6 months, chances are it's not even set up to work with the ESP. It probably already has the firmware for the NSP, so you may not even need to download this ESP. But again, I'm in the situation where I need to go and firmware update it, which is why I'm doing this, which is why we're downloading both. We can see right now the Nexus has downloaded the ESP here, the Nexus NSP software has downloaded. I can and go ahead and install that if I'd like. The ESP is still downloading. Let me let this finish downloading. As soon as that completes, we'll continue on here and we'll just go through the process of installing both software onto our laptops. Okay, so we can see up top here that the downloads have been completed.
Thanks for checking out our teaser clip. If you want to see the rest of this video and more than 500 hours of current EFI training we have to offer, make sure you click right here. If you want to go and check out more teaser clips from this training course, click here, and you don't want to miss any of the videos we're going to be releasing on this channel, so make sure you subscribe and click here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.